Lawyers for the Commonwealth say the government has been trying to find a third country to resettle a Sri Lankan refugee who's been detained in Australia for 2.5 years. The man has been refused a protection visa because he's deemed a risk to national security, and his case is currently before the High Court. He's challenging both the validity of his detention and the process ASIO used to label him a security risk. Amy Bainbridge reports from Canberra.
It's a complex case attracting the attention of some of the best legal minds in the country. The High Court is being asked if the government can continue to detain a refugee who's been denied a visa because he's been deemed a security risk. On day 2, the Sri Lankan's lawyers criticised ASIO's security assessment, arguing their concerns are not based on current information.
What occurred was a generalised, at best, identification of issues without any meaningful content for the plaintiff to respond to.
His lawyers argue he wasn't afforded basic procedural fairness because ASIO did not detail the allegations against him, nor was he afforded the chance to defend himself.
There was no meaningful content about the extent to which he remained supportive of the use of violence to achieve political objectives.
But lawyers for the government say the man was afforded procedural fairness during a lengthy interview with ASIO officials, during which he had a legal counsel present. They say he was questioned extensively about his role as an intelligence officer with the Tamil Tigers and therefore was well aware of the allegations against him. The government's lawyers also said the man made some inconsistent statements during the ASIO interview. That interview transcript has not been made public, but was submitted to the court, prompting this observation today from Justice Virginia Bell.
It was made clear to him that the interviewing officers did not accept the truthfulness of the account that he was giving. It is not clear to me what, in practical terms, would have been the different outcome had the officer said, "I want to direct your attention to the suggestion that we may consider that you are supportive of the LTTE and its use of violence to achieve political objectives."
The government's lawyers also argued
the fact that a person is a refugee means that Australia has certain obligations. It does not mean that Australia has to grant a visa to that person.
The court will hear the final arguments on Thursday afternoon, which will focus on Australia's security interests.
Essentially, the regulation in question is the one where our client has been deemed to be a security risk, and there's an argument that that regulation itself is invalid to the extent that it conflicts with the protection obligations that he's been found to be owed by Australia.
The government has unsuccessfully tried to have the man resettled in 11 other countries. It's not known when the High Court will hand down its judgment. Amy Bainbridge, Late Line.